Are you looking to buy a bigger home? Are you looking to sell your existing home and buy something bigger? Well, there's millions of you across the country. I call you want-to-be sellers. I probably should say want-to-be sellers and buyers. Well, there's two reasons that millions of people have hesitated to sell their existing home and buy a larger home over the last few years. The first one is mortgage interest rates. There was a time a couple years back that rates were as high as 8%. And many people who had bought homes or refinanced in 2020 or 21 or even early 22 said, I'm not going to go from my 3% mortgage rate up to 8%. Well, since that time, rates have really improved. They're hovering around 6% at this time. So yes, it's an increase, but it's not as bad. So that problem is getting better, progressively getting better. Now, the other reason that people hesitate, and we saw this well before mortgage rates were very low, then mortgage rates were high, is worrying that they won't find the right home in time. So many sell-by clients that we see, and for the record, we serve thousands of sell-by clients per year here at Lamacchia Realty across New England and South Florida. So our realtors really have this down. But one of the things that we see is they say, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. And then when the prospective buyer or sell-by client sees the home they want online, they call our realtors on a Saturday night. They call them at some odd, inconvenient time, freaking out that they found the home they want. Then everybody has to scurry around. They get a pre-approval. They submit an offer, but it's really not with the terms that are favorable to the seller. The offer gets denied. And oftentimes, immediately that person goes right back to, I'm not ready. Here's the deal. Most of you are ready. You just don't want to say it because you're worried that you won't find the right home in time. Now, when I say you're ready, what I mean is you're ready to make that move if the right home came along. But if you don't have a plan in place, then yeah, you're right, you're not ready. The only way to get a plan is to meet with a realtor and talk through all of these steps. Evaluate what's your current equity. We see a lot of people who have more equity than they thought they did. We also see a lot of people who we meet with, we go over their equity position, we talk about their existing savings, we connect them with a mortgage broker, and they realize, geez, the payment, given all the equity that they've built up, or in the third person case I've built up, makes it so that my payment isn't that much higher than I expected, or as high as I expected. So think about that. You have to meet with a realtor, right? You need to meet with them and you need to talk through all of these things. And you need to make sure to completely identify a plan. And then you can decide. Our realtors here at Lamacchia Realty, they're not going to push you to list your home if you're not ready. There's really one or two roads you can go down. You can get yourself truly ready, talking to mortgage broker, getting your home completely ready to list, and you can wait. That applies to those of you who know that you want to buy a home on maybe 3 or 4 specific streets in a specific neighborhood in a specific town. If your search criteria is very limited, then you probably should wait and not list. Now, if you're someone that has, more willingness to buy in a bigger area, or maybe 1 or 2 towns, then you likely can list your existing home, but list it with protections. We go over this in great detail in our sell-by roadmap right here. So this document here, as I said, our sell-by client roadmap, talks about the concerns. People are often concerned about the selling and buying timeline, making sure your home sells in time to cover your expenses for the new home that you buy. Although this market is undoubtedly intense, a sell-by can be done. The good news is the multiple selling and buying options that we create in a unique plan that works just for you. We take your timeline into consideration and we develop a customized plan. Remember I talked about that. I said, if you don't have a plan in place, you're really not ready. So we talk about that. We talk about getting ready but waiting or listing with protection. So you really have 2 roads of options, okay? If you're going to get ready and wait, and again, this applies to the people that are looking for a very specific home. People that are looking for a specific home in a specific neighborhood, and you have a very limited search criteria, and it might take you 2 or 3 years to find a home. Well, in that case, our realtors are never going to tell you to just list and all of a sudden, okay? But we would tell you, let's get the pictures done. Let's get the floor plans done. Let's get the MLS sheet totally ready. Let's get you really, I would rather you get a pre-commitment from a mortgage broker. That's when they completely put you through mortgage underwriting, and then the mortgage is subject to appraisal and subject property, okay? That's how you get totally ready. Now you might say, well, why do you need to load everything in MLS? I'm not saying list it publicly, but have it done, have it ready. Why? Because we want to show that to a listing agent when you make an offer so that they know you're going to be listing the property immediately, and we'll write that in the offer. We will say, existing home on XYZ street to be listed within 24 hours of seller acceptance of offer. Now, the other option, list with protections. You can list the home, okay? You can do that. And you can put in MLS disclosures. You can ask for a delayed closing. You can negotiate a rent back so that you can stay in the home for a certain amount of months after closing. You can make your offer on another home, and if you do that. You can offer to make a purchase with a sale contingency, right? And this here is done for people that are looking in a broader area that are more open to move to different places. But our realtors will go over this document with you, and they will make sure you are abundantly clear on your options. And our realtors are never going to push you to list your home or do anything that would put you at risk of being homeless. That's just not going to happen. But again, buying and selling at the same time requires a plan. And if you don't have a succinct plan in place, then you're not ready. But the reason that you think you're not ready oftentimes is you're not seeing the home that you'd want to buy. Now, there's two reasons that people delay in doing this. One has to do with seasonality. The best time of the year to list a home is February, March, April. Those 3 months are the best time of year. Why? Because there's less sellers and there's more buyers. That's when to strike when you're listing. And that gives you the best timing to negotiate the best price and also negotiate the best terms. If you want to negotiate a rent back, a long closing date, anything you might need from a buyer in order to make your sell-by scenario easier, you're going to be able to better negotiate it in February, March, April than you are the rest of the year. So keep that in mind and think about that with respect to seasonality. Don't wait until you get to May and June and you're seeing more homes online and saying, okay, I could move to these homes. Well, you can do that. We can still help you then, and we will. But when you're seeing more choices, now your ability to negotiate isn't as strong. You need to do your planning up front early in the season. Get everything identified. Go through our sell-by mortgage calculator, which I'm going to show in a different video. Have all that figured out, then determine, are you going to be ready and then wait, or are you going to list with protections? Which road are you going to take? Now, the other reason that people have been delaying is simply waiting and waiting to see more properties or waiting for rates to come down. I just want to point out to you, let's say you live in a home that's worth, I don't know, $600,000. And the home that you want to buy is in the range that you see is somewhere between $1 million and $1.2 million. Well, if prices go up 10% on your existing $600,000 home, now your home's worth $660,000. But the home you're buying is worth $120,000 more, so it's worth $1,320,000. Does that make sense? Okay, so when you're waiting and waiting endlessly, when you're moving up, you're actually hurting yourself. If you're downsizing, that's different. Waiting can be beneficial because of that appreciation in the marketplace. So stay tuned in here for more videos. Pay attention to everything on this page and make sure to talk to our agents. I want to point out to you, actually speaking to an agent on the phone or sitting across from one of the realtors at our company doesn't mean that your house just suddenly gets listed for sale or suddenly gets sold from under your feet. That doesn't happen. Our agents are consultants. They're real estate consultants. They're going to meet with you. They're going to talk about the entire scenario. They're going to go over the sell-by calculator with you to figure out all the financials. They're going to guide you on other professionals to talk to, such as mortgage brokers. And they're going to work with you to develop what a plan would look like. And then ultimately, you're going to decide whether to make that plan happen or not. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes you feel more comfortable. For those of you that are looking to sell and buy, good luck. Happy home buying, happy home selling. We are here for you. Thank you.